My name is Jonathan Jones. I'll be your host and moderator for this afternoon. And it's my privilege um, to share with you information that could be useful to you in making decisions about your health and well-being. It's no secret that we are living in unprecedented times. And I remember hearing that when I was a kid, and I literally thought that it was just that it was unprecedented times. And there's no question about it that it actually was. But for many folks, the belief was that it was a time like no other time ever in human history. And again, it was. Who would have imagined that it could reach a whole different level, the level that it is today? And yet it has. And who would have thought that amidst all of that, that things could actually get worse? I don't think any of us could have imagined that things could have escalated to where they are today, where they've actually gone from what could be considered from bad to an even worse situation. But it has, and it's very sad to see that being the case right now. But the information that I'm passing on is information that you can take into consideration when making a decision about your health and well-being. I highly recommend that you seek the competent medical advice of professionals that you trust. Don't just take the word of someone who's not a medical doctor. I'm not a medical doctor. I am just a researcher. And it's in your best interest to make sure that you seek, don't take anything like this to be a replacement for a visit to your primary health care physician. So we highly recommend that you do that. But that being the case, all my conversations and interviews with doctors all yield the same thing. Doctors want their patients to be actively, mentally, and emotionally involved in their own health care and well-being. They don't like it when patients make them solely responsible for the outcome of their health and their treatment regimen. Doctors want their patients to be compliant. They really do. They want you to, if they tell you to take one pill every 6 hours, they want you to take one pill every 6 hours, not one pill every 4 to 8 hours. They want it one pill every 6 hours, and they've got a reason for that. If they want you to take a pill, tell you to take a pill for 10 days, which is usually what they say with antibiotics, they don't want you to stop taking it when you feel better. They want you to take it for 10 days. So they prefer that. But they also want you to be able to tell them specifically what your problem is. And most people have a difficult time with that. But top of the list, they want their patients to be mentally and emotionally involved in their well-being. So they want you to be involved. They want you to think about what's happening to you. They want you to try to do something yourself for yourself. At the very least, on behalf of or in support of their efforts to try to make you feel better. So the question is, what can you do? The short answer is make better food choices and exercise and drop bad habits. So those are the three things that they would really like for you to do. Is there anything else? I remember my mother was not someone who had bad habits. She probably ate bad food, but it was mainly because that was just the way that all she knew. There was no discussion back in those days about organic foods. It was only food. It was either food or junk food. That's all that there was. And comfort food, right? But there was no such thing as no talk about GMO and non-organic and pesticides. That just wasn't the case back in the late 90s or the 80s. There just was no discussion about that. But my mother came down with diabetes, and the cards the whole deck was stacked against her because diabetes, of course, led to many other problems. And I still remember to this day what the intensive care nurse said to me when my mother was in the hospital intubated. And I asked her what was she doing for my mother. She said we were praying for her immune system to kick in. And seriously, it was as if someone just shattered a pane of glass with a sledgehammer because I couldn't believe my ears. I seriously, I thought and naively so, that if you're paying $10,000 or more a day to be in intensive care, which I believe that's what her insurance company was paying, that they were doing a little bit more than praying about her immune system. I assumed that they were actually doing something to make her better. I'm a strong believer in the power of prayer, but I had that covered. That was all taken care of by people who at least knew God's name. I don't know what their disposition with the Creator was, but I expected them to be doing something other than that. And my mother would not leave the hospital. That would be the last time we had conversations with her. But what they wanted was her immune system to kick in, and they were praying for that. Well, I decided then and there that I would never be in a position to where I did not have access to the immune system kicker in her. And I needed to find one, which oddly enough, I had already found one, but my mother kept telling me that she had to check with her doctor first. So that I felt that was a failure on my part because I didn't know enough about it to get past that issue to help her or her doctor to see that it was an immune system kicker in her. But those same 2 boxes of product that I had bought for my mom were still in her closet when I went to clean out her house. So, but I would never be in that situation again where I felt hopeless and unable to make an immune system kicker in available to someone. So the single most important thing you could do for yourself would be to kick in your immune system. If you're going to do something for yourself, find that. And we have access to that. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about the heart in a moment, but I'm going to show you one of the reasons why we're going to talk about the heart first. Because when I sent out the notice to everyone about what our discussion would be about today, I tried to reference issues that are really prominent right now, high on the mind of a lot of people. And part of what's on the mind of a lot of people right now is what's happening as a result of COVID. Now, reports are indicating, hang on, I'm not going to tell you what reports are indicating. I'm going to just let you see what reports are indicating. And this is just one article that I'm going to try to share with you. If I can get it up on my screen. It disappeared. Oh, okay, here it is. See what happened was the stream decided to take over. Okay. You need to be aware of this. And the reason why it came to the fore for me was because, once again, I was having a conversation with a doctor. And the doctor that I was talking to was a doctor that's part of our team. He's a medical doctor. And he's also a 30-year, not 40-year veteran oncologist. So his specialty is in homotoxicology. That's naturopathic or holistic medicine. He's also internal medicine. And he's got all kinds of credentials. But my conversation with him just yesterday, because I spent a lot of time talking to him and interviewing him, he told me of an account of a gentleman who had developed a heart problem out of the blue, and it was related to COVID. So he came down with this arrhythmia, and because of his position, he comes in contact with experts, high-level experts. So he went to see an expert cardiologist that he was hoping was going to be able to give him some answers and maybe guide him to some kind of a solution. Because navigating the COVID, world can be a little bit challenging. And again, this is not, I don't have discussions that are pro-vaccine or anti-vaccine, so I'm not there. So it's everyone's personal decision. It has been proven that the vaccines have saved lives. There's no question about it, because the number of deaths dropped as the number of vaccinations worldwide went up. So I'm neither for nor against. Okay, so that's not what this discussion is about. But he went to the cardiologist to find out what could he do, and the cardiologist sent everybody home. They had conversations with him that were, just very, very sensitive, and the kinds of things that we won't discuss here. But it was his statements about his heart in connection with the virus that prompted me to do a little bit more research on it. And I can tell you this right now, on VAERS, that's the official adverse event reporting website for the Center for Disease Control, the CDC. You can go there for yourself and you can do the research on what kind of adverse events people have been having also in connection with COVID-19 and see that. But there's a huge list of those with myocarditis and pericarditis. I thought this article here was interesting because it says here the risk of new heart problems jumps after COVID. All right, now this had nothing to do with the vaccine itself, but just the risk after COVID. So post-COVID. So if you or I have been exposed to COVID, we have an increased risk, the study found, having heart problems. Look at the paragraph here that begins, and this is according to Reuters. Researchers at the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs compared rates of new cardiovascular problems in 153,760 individuals affected with coronavirus before vaccines were available. 5.6 million people who did not catch the virus, and another 5.9 million people whose data was collected before the pandemic. An average of 1 year after their recovery from the acute phase of the infection, the COVID-19 survivors had a underline it, underscore it, highlight it, 63% higher risk for heart attack, 69% higher risk for problematic irregular heart rhythm, that's arrhythmia, a 52% higher risk of stroke, a 72% higher risk heart failure, and a nearly 3 times higher risk of a potentially fatal blood clot in the lungs compared with the other two groups, according to this report published Monday. Now, I'm going to chase down that actual report, and once I find it, I'll share a link in the WhatsApp chat. If you're not in the WhatsApp chat, whoever invited you, they can send you an invitation to join that chat. It's a one-way chat, so it's not one of those. It's really an information poll. So when I find things, I post it there. And I do that just so that it doesn't become a nuisance communication mechanism. Because if it's a lot of chatter and there's hundreds of people in there, people just mute it or they ignore it. But I post things there that are just relevant that I think you folks might be interested in knowing about. So that's the only reason for that that chat group. And the idea is for it to remain relevant. But did you see that, and were you paying attention to that? Between 60 and 72% higher risk of serious coronary issues. We talked quite a bit about coronary artery disease, and that's where I'm going to switch to that PowerPoint presentation now, just to kind of go through it real quick and try to get you to the point where you can say, okay, there's a reason why we should be focusing in on our heart. There's a reason why we should be doing something to make sure that our cardiovascular system remains strong. I didn't ask for a show of hands of how many on the call here now feel that they've been exposed to COVID-19. Is anybody here a survivor of COVID-19? You can hit the raise your hand thing on the Zoom. So far, just 2 people have had it. Nobody else got exposed to it. Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good, I guess. So, or you're not aware of it. You know, it is possible that some have been exposed to it, but they never had a confirmation of it because it was a so-called, what's the expression they use? Mild case. So sometimes that's the case. I believe I was exposed to it. So that's the reason why I'm making that statement. So I think I've had it. I think Joanna's had it. But it was a little bit more like a bump of the road for us. No serious consequences of it, at least not evidently. According to this study here, we could be a time bomb waiting to happen. And that's why we need to take this kind of seriously. So when it comes to heart disease, I'm not going to go through these statistics. We talked about this once before. But just look at that. Every 36 seconds, someone dies from cardiovascular disease in the United States. So from the time that we started this discussion to right now, it's been about 10 minutes. Divide that by 60, which is the number of seconds, and then divide that by 36. And that's how many people have died just in the time since we've been on this Zoom call. 359,000 people per year die from heart disease. 1 out of every 4 people who die in this country is from heart disease. Now, here's the total number, right? This is the number of people who have a heart attack every year. But that 700,000 is just a huge number if you just try to wrap your mind around it. But anyway, heart disease is a real problem. The solution: eat better, exercise, cut out bad habits from your diet. Avoid foods that have chemicals on them, especially glyphosate, Roundup. You don't want to eat foods that's really a weed killer. It's not a pesticide. It's a weed killer. So that puts you in the category of genetically modified foods, because GMO foods is another conversation in and of itself. We talked about the importance of walking every day. I cannot emphasize that enough, and I hope that all of you who have been coming to this presentation on Sundays have gotten the message that you need to somehow get 7,000 steps in every single day. It decreases your mortality by 70%. So you're putting yourself on the right track just by walking every day. So instead of driving around the parking lot looking for the closest parking space to Costco or to whatever store you go to, why not park real quick at the farthest end of the parking lot? And that's a real good way to get yourself some extra steps in. So that's one way to do it. It has been proven that not exercising is worse than being a diabetic smoker. So if you're not doing any exercise right now, you have a higher chance of dying than someone who has diabetes and smokes cigarettes every single day and obese. So that's a bad thing. So again, we cannot emphasize the importance. We can't emphasize the importance of doing something, taking action right now. We can't emphasize that enough, how important it is for you to do that. The risk factors for coronary artery disease: high blood pressure, high cholesterol, smoker, family history of coronary artery disease, diabetes, being overweight. Those are high risk factors for a person to come down with coronary artery disease. Now, if I could redo this slide, we could put one more bullet on there, right? Based off of the research that just came out. The research just published in February of 2022 that Reuters reported on, that if we had COVID, if we are a COVID survivor, if we are a post-COVID person, even in the long hauler category, a long hauler is someone who is displaying symptoms for many, many months, sometimes years after being exposed to it. I just reconnected with an old friend from 1985, just this past week. I'm going to go visit him tomorrow in Tampa. He's a COVID survivor. He's a long hauler. He's lost a good portion of his lung capacity, so he now has to use oxygen every day. So he can't walk 200 feet without gasping for air because his lungs simply don't work. He was in ICU for weeks. He was intubated. He was in the hospital for 2 months, but he survived COVID. So we could put a bullet on here that says the risk for coronary artery disease or heart disease would be post-COVID. Being a COVID survivor, we now know we have a 63% higher chance of having a heart problem. That's not good. Those are just not good numbers. But the solution is what we really want to talk about. We want to get to this part right here. Is this gentleman right here, Dr. Kedar Prasad, and we're going to be interviewing him again. Hopefully next week we're going to focus in a little bit on we're going to do heart disease again, but we really want to talk about cancer with Dr. Prasad next week. But he's a world-renowned scientist and researcher. First radiation biologist PhD in the world. He's been published more than 250 times, and he's the author of 31 books. He's working on his 32nd book right now, and he's 87 years old, a former member of the Nobel Peace Prize nominated committee. So this man has forgotten more than we know when it comes to science and the immune system is concerned. But what we're getting to now is the fact that he wrote a book called Heart Disease, Fight Heart Disease with Vitamins and Antioxidants. And now if you get your hands on that book, you'll see that his approach to using antioxidants and vitamins is very different from anyone else. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of Dr. Matthias Rath. But Dr. Matthias Rath believes that heart disease is the old sailor's disease known as scurvy. It will cause internal bleeding. And that's what he believes to this day is what heart disease is. So he believes that high levels of vitamin C and a few other things is very important in eliminating heart disease. His solution only goes part the way. Dr. Prasad's solution goes all the way. And he's got the clinical studies and the evidence to prove it. He put all of his research, packaged it into this formula right here. Now, it was packaged very differently when the military was using it. They put it in a brown package. I should take a picture of it and make sure that it's here in a slide. So I'll try to remember to do that in the future. Jeff and Helen have joined us on the call, so maybe Jeff already has a picture of it. He can show us toward the end of our discussion. But when the military used it, it was a flat package so they could fit it in the side of their armor fatigues, and they could just take their 2 capsules in the morning and their 2 capsules in the evening. The idea was that they could remain in optimal health while fighting in a war in the most toxic environment on the planet. But now, you and I, the average person, we have access to this amazing product. These are just a list of the patents that have been secured on MMF, but it's the studies, the clinical studies behind them that really tell the whole story as to how unbelievable this product is. Notice this one right here. We're talking about a micronutrient for pulmonary and heart health. 1 minute there, there we go. And here's another one, micronutrient for pulmonary and heart health. Here's another one, micronutrient for pulmonary and heart health. My favorite still is the diabetes because that's what killed my mother. But there are some scientists and researchers who believe that diabetes and heart disease should be classified as the same disease. Because if you are diabetic, you're just a hair's breadth away from having heart problems. And certainly my mother was having heart problems. No question about kidney problems, and it just leads to so many other things. Diabetes is a disgusting, horrible condition. But this is a product who's patented and has been proven through clinical studies to show to have a benefit to someone who's suffering from coronary artery disease. When we interviewed Dr. Prasad, he told us about the one with the fire department. He said that they noticed that after 6 months or so, the coronary calcification in the carotid artery had cleared up. In those persons who prior to that had a problem. But it completely cleared up, so it made them nickname the MMF, or Michael Daly, the poor man's Lipitor. So, and there's no side effects to it at all. So how exciting is that? That you know that you can actually be lowering your bad cholesterol and improving your overall health. These are just some of the benefits of Michael Daly now, and almost everyone who tries it, they all get the same result. I thought this was interesting, that right here on the list of glutathione deficient states that's mentioned right in the physician's desk reference is stroke. So if you have a glutathione deficient state, you're at higher risk for a stroke. And we just told you that diabetes and heart disease by some researchers should be categorized as one and the same. But think back to what Laura just reported. The risk of having a stroke post-COVID is 69% higher. 69% higher post-COVID. Research that just came out. And that these are referred to as glutathione deficient states. So there's evidence to suggest that keeping our glutathione levels high could help us to avoid that outcome. And maybe I'll share a story with you of another close friend who did quite well using micro daily after she suffered a stroke. But this was another study that was done at Gutenberg University in Mainz, Germany, showed that just before a heart attack, they measured low levels of glutathione. They now know how these heart attacks occur. It's because of the buildup of plaque, not inside the inner lining of the artery walls, but this plaque builds up in between the inner lining and outer lining of the artery wall. Then the immune system tries to come to the rescue, causing inflammation, and then eventually, if there's a micro tear and the white blood cells leak out, that causes the clot. And if that clot's heading towards your heart attack, that's towards your heart, that's called a heart attack. If that clot is heading toward the brain, that's called a stroke. So they have now been able to document this, and visually have been able to see it. So you can do the research and find the PBS documentary that was published called The Hidden Epidemic. I saved the entire recording, so if I find it one day, I'll post a link to that in the chat as well. But I believe it's on my YouTube channel. Anyway, if you're trying to find my YouTube channel, it's youtube.com/Jonathan Jones. But I believe I've broken that entire documentary up into 3 or 4 portions. The first part of it is painfully boring because it really is a documentary. But once they got into the meat and potatoes of it, where they figured out that the immune system became part of the disease, that was quite telling. And it explained exactly why keeping the glutathione levels high is important when you're fighting coronary artery disease or any kind of disease related to the heart itself, heart disease, period. So this product is amazing for that, because one of the things it does is raise glutathione levels. But that's not the only thing it does. But that's just one of the things it does. It's elevate and sustain glutathione, and it supplies the body with a massive amount of antioxidants. So when you have a variety of antioxidants in the right proportion, in the right quantities, from the right sources, so the quality is the highest level, then your body can fight off anything. Your immune system is in optimal condition. Now this formula right here, I think is one of the best. The only one that's better than this is the EMF. But on the low end of the scale, the methylated formula, not the MTHFR, they call it the methylated now, means that your body can absorb the B vitamins, B12 and B9, much better. This is the one you want to focus your attention on, this one or the EMF. So get this in your body. Your entire central nervous system depends on your ability to absorb B12. And this is the highest level of absorption is in this formula right here. So this one is, the price of this one is $63, and the price of the EMF is $73, and the price of the original formula is $53. A little bit less than that, but I just rounded it up so you'd have the numbers. So basically, you just get back with the person who invited you to this discussion, and they'll help you set up your own subscription. But there's also a way to get it for FREE, and that's called Become an Affiliate. So if you're interested in free, then ask about that. Seems like pen is, maybe I ran out of digital ink or something. So there you have it in a nutshell. So think about it, folks. We're talking about, as I mentioned earlier, post-COVID. I'm not talking about anything else, whether someone decided to embrace the jab or not. We're talking COVID, COVID, the chances of having a cardiovascular event 63% higher. So now, hold on now, think about it. That would be if we were in the category of the 75% who won't die from heart disease. Because remember, 1 out of 4 people die from of people who die from heart disease every single year. It's still the number 1 cause of death in this country. So add to that now the increased risk for those of us who have somehow avoided being in that high-risk category, just being a COVID survivor would put a person in the high-risk category for having a heart attack or a stroke. Not good. That's all we can tell you. It's not a good thing. But that's going to be the end of our discussion for today. So we'll take a couple minutes now to answer some of your questions and to hear your stories. So if you've had benefits from Micro Daily, we'd love to hear that, to share your story. If you have questions about something that we just discussed, please raise your hand and relate that now. If you happen to have a picture of the military package of Micro Daily, then feel free to share that with us also. And you know who you are.
So, Jonathan, more than just a picture, how about a video of it? This is what the original military package looks like. You can see that it's divided into morning and evening and in the days of the week. And so truly understanding this, the power of what the military spec'd out, they wanted to have something that would sustain life with just water and this. We've had individuals actually do water fasts where all they were consuming for not just a week, but we've had people do it for a month, is the Micro Daily and water. And so incredible micronutrients that are there included in these capsules. The reason that it was done in this type of a package is so that it could be carried on their person. Actually, for the ground troops, it was designed to go into the fatigue pocket on the thigh. For the Navy SEALs, it was this shape, this design was to go in the kind of the fanny pack area on their back, on their waist. And it's also the same size as the flight suit for those that were in the Air Force. So pretty amazing. They wanted this on their person, not back in the barracks, not in a bottle somewhere. I wish we still had access to this kind of packaging, but that's the significance of the original military micronutrient formulation, and grateful that we have access to it today.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Thank you very much for sharing that, Jeff. So I hope you're getting it, folks. It's the only military grade micronutrient in the world right now. It's the only one, as far as the United States government is concerned, the only one that's military grade, and we have access to it. So thank you, Jeff.
My pleasure.
Okay, let's see here. We got a question here from Steve Hilton. Steve Hilton has a question. So let's go ahead, Steve, with your question, please.
I'm fighting brain cancer, and I was wondering if it might help with my brain cancer a little bit.
Say a little bit louder for me, please, Steve.
Oh, I'm fighting out oligodendroglioma brain cancer, and I was wondering if it would help with my brain cancer.
Well, that's a very good question, Steve. And my goal is to have Dr. McCruzy on next week, and we're going to be talking about cancer. So we're going to be going to a little bit of a deeper dive on cancer, because he wrote a book just like that one on heart disease.
Mm-hmm.
He wrote the book on fighting cancer with vitamins and antioxidants. Now, to give you just a little bit of a kind of a preview, just to touch the surface for you, Dr. Prasad last week told us that when it comes to antioxidants in high levels, does a phenomenal job of benefiting the body when it comes to fighting cancer.
Yeah.
So we have seen folks who have taken high levels of this micro daily and have found good benefit in fighting back abnormal cells in their body. But keep in mind, we're talking about a nutrition, we're talking about a food, we're not talking about something that treats disease, because by law we can't make any claims that it treats or cures any disease.
Yes,
So
sir.
we can say that it can empower the immune system to do what it's designed to do. The immune system can do anything, but we can't say that any medication, any natural product will do that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I take this stuff that raises my glutathione levels already, but I just saw this stuff just recently, so.
Jonathan, I've got a couple of videos that might be beneficial for Stephen's question.
Okay.
So I could, if you want to give me, oh, you did. I've got co-host abilities right now. So thank you, Jonathan. Two individuals, and these are both a little older, and so they're referencing the one is particularly the MMF, the military micronutrient formulation. But she talks about her experience. I know it was something to do with a brain tumor. But just back to what Jonathan was saying, we're not here to diagnose, treat, cure, or heal, but this is just this lady's experience. And she's just sitting up here. Well, I'll just share it. One second.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Here we go. And it's a little difficult to hear, so I'm gonna raise the volume as much as I can on this end. So here we go.
Sounds good.
Diseases and a brain tumor. I've been very emotional lately. They pretty much told me that if I did get it under control, I would either be dead or in a wheelchair. So I had an incident where I was in a very severe asthma. And I was in a very, very situation where my lungs closed off completely. And I was on a breathing tube. And they told my brother I wasn't gonna live. So Dirk came in and mentioned the MMF. And he says, you've got to get her on this, and whatever all these doctors are doing isn't helping. It's making it worse. So he talked to me and I said, I'm skeptical. I've tried everything, and it's like, I'm afraid to try something. It's going to make it worse. I may not live. He said, what do you got to lose? So fine. If it shuts you up, I'll try it. So I started taking it. It's been over, 8 months? Oh yeah, about a year and a half.
Excuse me, year.
Yeah.
A year this October.
I have not been in the hospital. I forget where my asthma medications are. I have not had a cold. I haven't even had a cough. Went and had an MRI just to check the brain situation. My brain tumor, for the brain tumor, is shrinking and it's disappearing. The disease I had, that's actually a brain matter like MS. They don't have a name for it. They don't have a cure for it. It's actually dead in the water. So I can go without a lot of sleep. I've actually gotten back into, I have horses, gotten back into riding and working with them. I got nailed this weekend, but I've got energy that is unreal. I have taken nothing different but the MMF.
That's powerful.
Yeah, sorry. Here, I got it.
Very emotional lately.
I've got it playing again still here.
Definitely powerful. Yeah.
Yes.
How do you get it for free? I saw that you said there was a way to get it for free or samples.
Yes. Who invited you, Stephen?
Kathy Greer, Sister Greer.
Okay. Yeah, I'll get with you and Kathy afterwards, and we'll talk about exactly how you can get part of the affiliate program and help you to the way to get it for free. Okay.
All right. Yeah, because I haven't tried it yet. I'm definitely willing to try it. I tried this other stuff that raised my glutathione.
have you had surgery already to remove a mass?
Yeah, I had 4 surgeries, so I'm looking at my 5th
Okay.
one coming up. So
Now you're looking at it.
yeah,
Gotcha. All right, we'll talk about it. But as you can see, that's at least one example of someone that had really good results with it.
yeah, it sounds great. Yeah, she had some great results. Mhm.
Okay?
Thank you. Yes, indeed. Appreciate the help.
Thank you. Thank you for coming, and thank you for asking your question.
Thank you for helping.
Perfect, Jeff. I'm glad you had the video available. So
That was
that
nice.
was really good for that. Okay, we have one more question. I think it was Lori. Lori Thacker. You there, Lori?
Hello. I was just wondering, when did they start using the product with the military? When did that get passed to be a military product that was formulated for the military? Does anyone know what year, when it began?
Well, your timing is very good because we've got Jeff with us right now. So that's the very question that the perfect question for him. Go ahead, Jeff.
As near as we can tell, it was the military itself placed a $2 million order for it and started dispensing it in 2006. And so it went from 2006 until 2008. We're a little unclear as to exactly what was the situation so that it didn't continue, other than the current administration at that point felt like that we were covering the needs of our soldiers through medications, through drugs, and so
Yeah.
the contract was not renewed during the Obama administration.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just saying it doesn't surprise me. So yeah, they don't really support the natural industry. So
No, and when you and earlier Jonathan shared the number of patents, the U.S. patents that came out in 2008 and 2009, and so there was a lot of, as I understand, a lot of heat on this company, Premier Micronutrient. That was Dr. Prasad's original company, because it did get patents for protection from radiation, hearing and hearing health, heart and pulmonary health, which is your lungs and your heart. And then, as Jonathan mentioned, it actually has a U.S. patent that reads micronutrient formulation 1, micronutrient formulation for the treatment of diabetes mellitus, which is type 2 diabetes. So when you're getting patents issued by the government about the effectiveness of this product, you can just totally understand the pressure that was coming from Big Pharma at that period of time.
right. Can you tell me again how many patents were on? I want to write it down. Didn't do that today.
7 U.S. patents, and I actually have, if you'll hang on just a second, let me grab this PDF, and it'll show. This is our science booklet. Let me just hold this up in front of you. So this is our science booklet. It's a 32-page document,
Yeah, I
and
got the-
and if you go right to the last page, so here's the back. This is the last page. You can see some of Dr. Prasad's publications. One more page over, and it's going to show all of the patents, the human and animal studies, the human clinical trials. So let me just pull that up on the page so that you can see it.
Okay.
Okay.
I have the book.
Second. And let me just
You have
reduce.
a copy of the book,
Yeah.
Lori?
I have the book.
Oh, fantastic. Well, go to that second page in, and Lori, what that will do for you here, let me share the screen for everybody else. What that'll do for you is actually show you the actual patents. Okay,
Oh,
so you're seeing the actual patent numbers, and you can do a Google search for those patents. Here, let me zoom in a little bit. There you have them. So Those, all of those patents have Dr. Prasad's name at the top of them. So
Okay.
you can look up all of those patents. There's 7 of them there. And then you can see right here, there is patent pending on microdaily EMF and microdaily kids formulation. And I can tell you that there's one more that we can't list right here, but it's exactly what we were talking about earlier here with Stephen.
Right.
So, okay, I can't say anything about it until it's actually in a patent pending status, and then we can discuss it.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, my pleasure. Sorry, Jonathan, I kind of stepped in and hijacked your call here. Great presentation. I love how you've put it all together. Just missing the picture of this. And don't you have one of these somewhere in all your moves?
I got several packages of them someone sent to me.
Okay. All right.
Yep, I got several of them, but I've been bouncing around here so much that let me find my car keys.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, but no, thank you very much for sharing that, and that's perfect. So,
Oh, it's so fun to fun to see a lot of my friends that are on here. It's just great. There's Mamie and oh my goodness. So and Dolores, gosh, this is a thing. And James, and I'm gonna miss some people here, but yeah. Anything else? Any other questions? We're here to help.
Let's see if anybody else's question.
Jonathan.
Anything that we missed. Take advantage of the fact that we have Jeff here with us right now. I'll tell you just a brief story while you're thinking about your questions. Is when someone told me that I should talk to this couple from Utah, that they've got some vitamin. My response was, I don't need a vitamin. I've already got great products, so I don't need to talk to them or anybody else. And she said, no, seriously, it's something that only the military had for a while, but now it's available to the public. And I thought about not that statement, but who it was that was telling me. And she had helped guide me to a product that was, I believe, that saved Joanna's life. Because Joanna was allergic to everything. So it was an environmental control product. And if it had not been for that environmental control product, I believe Joanna would have had a cardiac issue because she was chronically inflamed because she was allergic to everything, environmental and otherwise. But when she guided me to that product, I gave her credit for that. And I said, okay, well, tell them I've got, what did I say, 20 minutes?
20 minutes. You gave us 20 minutes.
Tell them I got 20 minutes. And I wouldn't let them go for like 3 hours. And because once they showed me that patent on treating diabetes, I said that was it. I said, I'm really sorry, Jeff, but skip the rest of your presentation. Tell me about this diabetes thing. And we just couldn't shake loose, and I got bit by the bug ever since. So anyway, got a question here from Errol Woodham. This is Errol's first time with us, so we're happy to have you with us, Errol. Go ahead and shoot with your question.
Thank you, Jonathan. One question that I do have is how effective, and I'm going to answer my own question because I've been reading on the material. I'm pretty impressed with it. How effective is it with, and you've spoken of it, cardiovascular health as far as blood flow, circulation, and not treating because you're not a medical doctor, but controlling high blood pressure?
Very good question. We've got a lot of anecdotal testimonials about blood pressure, but because blood pressure is so complicated and can be caused by anything from heart arteries to a kidney problem, some people respond quickly, some people take a lot longer to respond. Some people can get by with just, have some improvement by just adding the micronutrients to their diet. Some people take a lot more of other things to clear up their situation. But one of my mothers was having problems with high blood pressure. The blood pressure was in the 180s, 190s, 200 all the time. And so I handed her a bag of hydro. And I still have the text message to this day. She was screaming that she could not believe that her blood pressure had dropped by about 40 points just after the first day or two of using it. She says she's even on 3 medications. She had never seen that kind of an improvement with her blood pressure. So, but unfortunately, about 2 or 3 weeks later, she came back to me and told me that her doctor told her that she shouldn't take it. It was not good for her. So she handed me the bag back, and just had her funeral a couple of days ago. So unfortunate. But I hope that kind of answers your question. Jeff, additional comment on that, please?
You know what? I've got a video that we were at a meeting in Grants Pass, Oregon, and during this portion of the meeting, we had people standing up and sharing their experiences, and it was interesting because we actually had Dr. Persad on a phone call. And so he was listening to this gentleman describe what he's experienced with the microdaily. So if you'll bear with me and give me about 3 more minutes, I'll share this video.
Excellent.
All right. So here it is, and you'll see in the background of this video an actual package of the hydro. So here we go.
Tell us where you were 8 weeks ago, and Dr. Prasad is going to walk you through. Okay.
8 weeks ago, I was introduced to this product, and previous to that, my blood sugar A1C was in the 12s and low 13s. And after being on this product for 8 weeks, my last A1C was 5.7. Ooh. So I've had quite a bit of change in my life so far as the blood sugars and the numbers. I've also been on high blood pressure medicine. And I just recently had back surgery, upper and lower spine. And when I went for my lower spine surgery, my blood pressure was so low, they were thinking about not performing the surgery because it was so low. Yeah. So right now, after 8 weeks of being on this product, my blood sugars are in line. I no longer have my blood pressure medicine. I was on 3 different medications at one time. Now I'm down to just the one. And my ultimate goal is to get off all of them. And I'm quite sure that with the product that we're talking about today, I'll be able to do that, hopefully in the near future, and love the opportunity to share. Sure. And I think
That's phenomenal.
Yes, awesome.
That's phenomenal. That answer your question, Errol?
Yes, it does. I appreciate it. And the short video there was something that I've experienced, not lower back surgery, but lower back procedure. And the pressure medication that I am on is a very low dose. Been on it for a while, so I'm sure that with this, I'll be able to get off of it. So sounds good. Sounds good. Thank you.
All right. Very good. Very good. Thank you very much. Appreciate your question. And Kathy Greer has a question.
Hello. I wanted to just ask this question. I know the answer, but just for everybody. Somebody was asking, what's the difference? If you were to break it down, what's the difference in the EMF one, the methylated one, and the original?
Good question. The short answer is the original has all the patents on it. The original, all the science was done on it. That was what the government fell in love with. That's what helped all the soldiers. But it turns out there's 2 ingredients in there that could be improved. The B9, folic acid, folate, and the B12. So Dr. Prasad identified components that would make them more absorbable. So he replaced those ingredients with the more absorbable form of them. So having a better absorption of B9 and B12, extremely good for the central nervous system. So that's the difference between the original and the methylated. The EMF has 4 additional ingredients in it that helps the body to further fight back radiation because of the onslaught of 5G. 4 additional ingredients. That's why instead of 2 capsules twice a day in the original and the methylated, it takes 3 capsules twice a day of the EMF. So the equivalent of 2 capsules of the others, you need 3 of the EMF twice a day to get that. But it's because of the 4 extra ingredients and fighting the 5G. So that answer your question?
Yes, and I got one more question. So if a person is taking not the original, but one of the other 2, and they said they want to add something to their arsenal, what else could they add? They just, they don't have any specific problems. They're just maybe older, or they're just trying to look at it from, what else do I need?
Well, the best thing they could do is if they're taking the methylated, with 1 dose, they could take the EMF. That's what I would suggest. Or if they're already taking EMF, add 1 more dose. So instead of taking twice a day, take it 3 times a day, just to, if they want to just improve. But we also have the brain boost, and we have the eye boost. So those take the whole nutrients to a different level.
Okay,
and drink plenty of water. They got to drink a lot of water. Drink
And
half
walk.
your body weight in
And
water.
walk 7,000 steps a day, right?
And walk 7,000 steps a day. And stop eating weed killers. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Any other suggestions, Jeff?
Hey.
Let's get you unmuted.
Yeah, I think you're spot on there, Jonathan. I know that in our minds, we are looking at the MicroDaily family of products and the Boost products as our health insurance. We calculated out how much we were spending per month just for insurance in case we got medical problems, and we have invested that into the MicroDaily EMF, into the brain boost, into the eye boost, into the CBD boost, and we are taking extra of all of those products. We still have a catastrophic plan in case something were, seriously to happen to us, but we took that investment in our health, and really our medical insurance is MicroDaily.
Wise, good move. We're in the same way. Thank you. All right. One more here, Veronica. We're almost out of time. We'll sneak Laura's question out.
It's very brief. I was just referring back to Mr. Errol's talking about the high blood pressure, and my husband actually did get taken off of his high blood pressure medicine. It was a little longer than 8 weeks because the doctor could not believe when he had went that this is all that he was doing. So he said, no, you come back in 2 months and then I'll let you know. Don't you go off your medicine yourself. But he has been off of his medicine over a year now for high blood pressure.
Wonderful. I'm excited to hear that. Thank you very much, Veronica, for sharing that. Go ahead, Lori.
Yes. Does the EMF have the same better absorption of the B vitamins like the methylated does?
Yeah. It's just a step up from the methylated. Yeah,
Is
that's
it
correct.
also acclimated for the MTHR gene? I think I'm saying that MFTHR or whatever. Oh, good. That's great. So it's like, it's like the methylated plus the EMF. That's cool.
Same thing with the children's. Same thing with the children's gummy. It also carries the attributes of the MicroDaily EMF formulation, just in a children's dose. And
great.
Absolutely love those. I can't do a meeting without it. It's just right here on my desk. You gotta do this.
You yourself?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. You've got to. I mean, everybody else who's had these, their mouth is going to start to water and they're going to wish they had some. In fact, I've been on Zoom calls, and I'll just kind of carefully sneak one of these, and pretty soon we see several others getting theirs. And
I've got an adult friend that was asking me specific about the gummies to see if they would be formulated in potency for adults as well, or what they differed on.
Well, it is a children's dose. And so as an adult, you're looking at about 8 of these.
Oh,
so, yeah. No, that's why I don't mind just tossing them in. I carry them in my car. I've got them on my desk. I've got them just everywhere. Oh, you can. That lemon
your
flavor.
little treats through the day. That's
Mm.
great. Also,
I'm gonna start carrying them on my desk.
I was wondering how long have there been testimonials on length of time on after they start the eye formulation that helps the nutrients help the body heal the eyes. How long does one expect to have that process happen in a lot of cases? If you could elaborate on that.
Jonathan, you were on this this text thread. Do you want to share? Here we go. This was Beth's statement. So I can just tell you, she sent this through. Hey team, I have a testimonial from this morning for Eye Boost. The guy has had detached retina, and within 36 hours, his vision has improved. More about this factual testimony at a later time. Team, we can't get any more real than this. Real people, real testimonies. I love this company. I love this product, and we are all very blessed. So that was from Friday.
Wow.
So 36 hours.
My husband's eyes are getting worse, and he's about to go get new prescriptions. So I thought, well, let's try the Eye Boost first.
It's very good. And you know what's funny, Lori, is some people claim that that their prescription got weaker just on microdaily itself. And so you add Eye Boost to it, it's going to just accelerate the benefits.
Yeah, we have people back in their ugly glasses because they see better in the older prescriptions. Like the really big ones, those that have horned rims. So anyway.
Yep. All right. Thank you. Thank you again, Lori, for your questions.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Dolores, you got the last word on this one.
Okay, I'm just gonna comment on the effects with high blood pressure. My husband, he is diagnosed with high blood pressure. They had him on 2 medicines, tried to get him on 4, but he just only takes the 2. And he's been taking macro daily now for quite a while. Now his pressure is where he's cutting, and he's on a low dosage. He's cutting his medicine half of half. He cannot take it he does not take it every day. And his pressure is something like this morning, I think his pressure was 120 something over 60 something. And it does be lower than that. So the doctor, where we live in this area, the doctors they don't want to agree for him to get off of the medication. They don't believe in the natural products, but we know they're working because he's not taking anything else but microdaily and the high blood pressure medicine. But like I said, he cannot take that medicine every day, and it's half of the prescription.
Wow. Quarter dose is what you're describing to us. That's fantastic. And we got a chance to meet your husband. He was sitting in the car when we were out there last time. No, fact, actually, we got out and took a picture in front of the van, didn't we?
Yeah,
That's incredible. Just love all of you that are part of our Micro Daily family. So,
and I thank Jonathan for sending you to Albany.
We did. We went there, and it was just the night after a big storm, and the light was the electricity was out. So we still got together with you. Those are enjoyable times.
Well, we appreciate it.
I was just about to comment that to put this into context for everyone that's here, Albany, Georgia has been in the news for having the highest population of overprescribed seniors in the country.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to find senior citizens who have been overprescribed on prescription drugs. The highest concentration of them is right there in Albany, Georgia. So Dolores has single-handedly been responsible for about 300 of them cutting back on their medication. Just than 300, Dolores, or a lot more than that?
I don't know, probably not 300, Jonathan. But it's a lot of them. As many as I can
Seems
get.
like 300 to me, so.
A lot of times they do like the friend yours, they'll take it. Then when the doctor tells them it's not good for them, or they shouldn't be taking it, they won't.
Yeah, I still get depressed over that. But thank you for sharing your story also, Dolores. We love hearing the stories, especially of folks who benefit to that degree from these products. It's phenomenal. I said we had the last word there with Dolores, but Sally Lance, I don't think I recognize Sally Lance. So I hate for her not to get her question in here, Jeff.
Okay, yeah, I'll just quick ask.
Let's Sally before we wrap up.
Yeah, I have a daughter that has schizophrenia, and it seems when the electricity is off, like the power goes out, the voices go away. So is this going to protect her from if that's the, was it EM? I'm just getting used to this. Laurie explained it to me. But will that protect her from the voices and the hallucinations?
I'll tell you what, Laurie, what the experts are saying, the amount of EMF, some people are especially sensitive to it, the radiation poisoning. Some people are especially sensitive. So your daughter is probably in that category. But there's two things that they say you need to do. Number one, if you put the protection in place internally, that's a big step in the right direction. But imagine if I was eating the healthiest food, but at the exact same time I was also still pouring some poison, into my body at the same time. I only get limited benefits from it. So if it's possible to reduce the amount of exposure, great. But of course, in your case, it's electricity, so it's hard to do that. But there's no doubt about it that there will be some improvement. One of those patents, and Jeff can tell us about it, one of those patents in a clinical study, they measured 100% DNA repair, adding micronutrients to a person's diet. That's repair from damage caused by radiation, low-dose ionized radiation. So there's no question about what it would physically do inside the body. It will improve.
Oh, wow, that's great. Oh, thank you so much there, Jonathan. I think Laurie.
Welcome. Thank you very much. And thank you for joining us. It was Laurie that invited you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's helped me a lot.
She really cares about you then. That's wonderful.
For sure.
Thanks so much for joining us. Okay. So there you have it, folks. In a nutshell, we were very fortunate we had Jeff with us here this week. We're going to be trying to drag him back here often to give us additional support. So for those who are interested in the affiliate program and a brief business meeting, just stick around for a couple moments. We're going to transition to that in just a minute. But for everyone else, I thank you very much for joining us. Again, for the record, my name is Jonathan Jones. It's been my privilege to be your host and moderator for this afternoon. I applaud you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us. There's so many other things you could be doing on a Sunday afternoon with your family and otherwise, but you chose to try to tap into a potential source of information that could have life-changing implications for you. We believe that it will, because we've seen thousands of people benefit from just this little bit of information that we pass on. So we encourage you to take the step, get back with the person who invited you to this meeting, and they will help you set up your own discount and wholesale accounts so you get access to these amazing products. Okay? Thank you all very much again for joining us. We'll switch over to the business meeting in just a couple minutes. So thank you, Jeff.
I'm Jeff.
Hey,
I'm Jonathan.
You said you had another question then? Yeah?
James was just saying goodbye.
Oh, yes, I'm.
Okay, all right, good. Gotcha.
I'm gonna be sticking around. I'll be sticking around for the business portion of it. It'll go fairly quickly, but I've got a little video to share with you on the affiliate program. It's just kind of like a little jingle that goes along. We'll share that and then answer any questions that you have for those of you that are interested in how do you get it for free, we'll be talking exactly about those things here in a few moments. Well, now you
All right.
spot
That's right. Well, your moment has passed.
your moment. This is just kind of like that. Okay.
Well, let me just set this up so that
Oh, bring
those who
yourself
are-
up on the screen with me. I'm not going to do this
I'm-
alone. Okay.
I'm just to kind of set this up from a business point of view and from a network marketing perspective. My history with network marketing goes back to 2003, 2004. I hated network marketing, to be quite honest with you. Up until that time, I believed that network marketing, the network marketer, the distributor, was the target market. That I didn't believe that companies really cared about the end user until I ran across a product that absolutely, positively benefited the end user. And I was very successful with that company. Very successful. I was able to have tremendous amount of time freedom because of it. That's what was most important to me, because I was doing a lot of volunteer work, and I loved being able to do volunteer work, disaster relief work, Hurricane Katrina, Hurricane Wilma, Hurricane Irma, you just name them. We were involved in them for 2 or 3 years. But it wasn't until that day that Jeff showed up at my house that it derailed all my attention from those other things. Well, I can't say that. I can say that part of the reason why I didn't continue with that particular product was because it didn't benefit Joanda. Turns out she had leaky gut syndrome. And because she had leaky gut syndrome, she was developing an allergy even to that product and almost everything else. So I was really on a quest trying to find out what was going to save my wife's life. So until I solved that problem, I couldn't concentrate on anything else. But the fact that that product did not solve her problem caused me to lose my confidence in it. Plus the fact that I only saw it work about 30% of the time with people who had cancer. And I was not interested in the 30% success. I was looking for 95%. I was looking for, I don't want to fail. I hate seeing people just die because they can't afford to buy something. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't think that being alive should be based on whether or not you've got $100. It doesn't make any sense to me. But anyway, along comes Jeff and Helen, and not only is the product as good, on many levels it was superior to the other product. It was easier to take. It was less expensive because you could increase to therapeutic dosages of it for a fraction of the cost of a therapeutic dose of the other. So head to head, there was no comparison. This one won out completely over the other product. And so that's what started me introducing this to my circle of influence and the people that I know. So, and it grew fairly quickly. In fact, that first year, I have to say this, Jim, I'm going to throw the company under the bus because they made a mistake that year. I was heading toward legacy my first year. I put the pedal to the metal and I was running hard, and I would have hit legacy if they didn't improve the comp plan. And that's what derailed it. But it was not David Nemelka's fault. He had a lot of people in his ear that was, I think, giving us some really bad advice at that time. But to bring it to where we are now, all of the mistakes of the past, I would venture to say that 98, 99% of the mistakes of the past have been completely obliterated now. There might be a tiny one or two that still needs to be reconciled. But we're at the point now where the affiliate program is a whole new day. Whole new day. This is what's going to take all of us into the legacy conversation. So, all right, Jeff, tell us about legacy.
Well, I'm going to start by not just talking legacy, but talking affiliate. Yeah. So you're. That's fine.
I need some blame.
I know exactly, and legacy is what will happen this month for you and your team. But back to what your original reaction was in the multi-level marketing industry when you're saying that the the target market was those who bought into the idea of getting wealthy off of whatever it was that they were pushing. Coming full circle, we are now at a point in Engage Global's history, and with the incredible micro daily products, not only the micro daily family of products being the micro daily original, the micro daily methylated, the micro daily EMF, but then the boost products that have come along to help. It's an incredible synergistic approach to good health. And those who delve into it more will understand that the reason that we're having this discussion this Sunday late afternoon or early evening, depending upon where you are in the country, is all because of the efficacy. That's how effective these products are in supporting the body in its natural immune responses. We are not taking the approach of causing the body to react. Okay, there's a difference. Drugs and a lot of other supplements are formulated in such a way to cause the body to react. We are doing a 180-degree difference in that, and we're supporting the body in the body's response. And if you look up the terminology, look in the dictionary between a reaction and a response, you'll know why we are getting the results that we are, because we're just supporting the body's own natural responses to this. But to the affiliate program, we have eliminated all of those barriers to entry, and it's as easy as $29.99. So for $30, you can become an affiliate with Engage Global, and you can take these products out to your family, friends, those people that you know, those people that you just see. It's this easy. It's for $30. So let me give you an example. We had a young lady up in Canada. She was on a call with us, and she says, you know what, I couldn't afford the micro daily products myself, but but for $30. So she says, for $1 a day, I have the ability to go out and share this with others. And so the investment that she made was for $30. And she turned around and that week enrolled her daughter, who has a family of her own, is married with children. She enrolled her daughter as her first preferred customer. And because her daughter had a belief in the product and was willing to try it, her daughter spent about $130 for herself and for her children. I believe it was a bottle of Micro Daily EMF and some Brain Boost, and then the children's gummies. So anyway, it was over $100. But because that transaction happened with her daughter, she made $130 on that Thursday. And so there was enough money in her account for spending just $30 and talking to her daughter. There was enough money in her account to not only replace that $30 that she invested, but also to create an order of $100 for her own benefit. And that's how exciting this affiliate program is. She actually turned around and has enrolled several other individuals. And now her daughter says, Mom, I want to do what you did. She has upgraded from a preferred customer to an affiliate for $30 herself, has kept the same subscription. And so it's exciting to see this start to snowball. There were no large pack sales. There was only individuals interested in their health and the health of others, and for $30. So that's the affiliate program in a nutshell. How do you get yours for free? It's a matter of going out and enrolling one preferred customer that month that has the same value of the order that you placed. Now, in the following up month, because of the the incredible, gosh, what term am I looking for? The incredible retention of these products. I can tell you that after 90 days, when somebody enrolls as a preferred customer, we have this data. After 90 days, we still have 92% of the people that are on a subscription. So the retention is there because they have a belief in the product and it is working for them. What's even more incredible is if you take that original 90 days and double that, so you're out 180 days or 6 months, we're still in the 80 percentile range after 6 months. That means, let's say worst case scenario, out of 10 people that you have on product, there's still going to be 8 of them that are ordering after 6 months. And a year down the road, that only declines to 7 out of those original 10 people. So you still have 7 people that are continuing to take the micro daily products because they work. So with that kind of retention, we can talk about this lady out of Canada. She signs her daughter up, and then she has continued to enroll others. And every time she enrolls somebody, she makes 100% commission off of that first order. And that's up to $150. We had to cap it there because it's that reoccurring order is what establishes how much you're going to make on that first order. So I know I've tried to explain a lot there, but it is that easy. The following month, when the order reoccurs, when that subscription processes, that month she adds up all of the volume of that second order from all of the people that she has enrolled, and that becomes her residual income. And based on our numbers, an average order is $100. And if you have 5 people on a $100 order, you're going to be making more. As soon as you hit $500 worth of volume, your percentage on the residual goes from 10% to 15%. And so what is 15% of $500? That is the amount that is going to cover your order. So enroll yourself for $30 and then go out there and find 5 people, understanding you're going to make 100% commission every week on one of those, on those new people. And then on the residual, you will have off of those 5 people enough money to continue your order. Now we put together a little, let's call it a jingle that goes through this in about 1 minute and 30 seconds. I'm going to share that with you. It's just basically words on a page with a little catchy tune behind it. But if I can guarantee, if you watch this a couple of times, what I just described to you is going to be easily converted into mental pictures and an understanding of what our affiliate program is all about. And Jonathan, is there anything else I need to cover before I share the little jingle video?
Nope, that's good. Please proceed.
Okay. All right, so let me just share my screen here. And I may stop it partway through so that you can really understand this. In 1 minute and 30 seconds just described what I've taken the last 10 minutes to go through. So here we go. So you can see how quickly it goes through in a minute and 30 seconds. But what I described, and it may take watching it again a couple of times, but really it is the ultimate thank you for sharing the world's most scientifically validated formulations with others. A 90-day money-back guarantee on that first order, 100% money-back guarantee on the 2 following months. If you exercise the 90-day money-back, you can return the unused bottles of months 2 and 3 and really not have any out of pocket if you did not get the value from the products. But it's an incredible opportunity. Dr. Prasad talks about 90 days being the cell saturation level. And this is really, Jonathan, what I am super, super excited about, because everybody can enroll for $30 and enroll their spouse, enroll their significant other, enroll one of their children, enroll one of their neighbors, or whatever it is. And if you truly look at what it was saying there at the end, I mean, get 15 customers because of our retention in a year could be worth $5,000 to you. That's 15 customers, get 30 customers, and that goes to $10,000 over the next
enough
year.
to pay for your gas for a month or two now, right?
Exactly.
The way the gas prices are going. So Jeff, thank you very much. That really simplified it and encapsulates it very nicely. Let me just ask you, while we have the group here, who could be targeted to be an affiliate? Is there someone who is better suited to be an affiliate versus another person?
Anybody over 18 years of age, because along with that $30, we need to have some ability to, once you start receiving those payments, we have to tie it to either a business EIN number or a Social Security number. But David has even lowered the barrier for others. We have an absolutely incredible Just for Veterans program, where anybody who has served this country in a military capacity and has the access to a DD 214 form. I know not everybody is serving in the military or has served in the military or believes in serving in the military, but you know somebody who has given their all for this country, and so they can purchase the micro daily products for half of wholesale. So when somebody is purchasing a bottle of micro daily EMF, that is our top of the line flagship product with all of the research and everything into it, a veteran who can supply their DD 214 because of our heritage and because of our belief in giving back to those who have won our freedoms, they can purchase it for half of that $73 that you just talked about, Jonathan. So look at what that is. And even those individuals, somebody who is enjoying the half of wholesale price because of their military service for $30 can go out and enroll other individuals. And if they've served the country, they can get the same benefit. So I know I kind of got off on a little tangent there to answer your question. Anybody who wants to benefit from the use of the micro daily products can benefit from the financial opportunity as well.
Well, and today, I think I really want to just kind of emphasize the fact that we shouldn't sell anybody short. I've made the mistake in the past, Jeff, of assuming that this person or that person would be good as a distributor versus another one, and that's a misnomer. So we really should offer the opportunity to pretty much anyone. However, because they could teach them how to get it for free, because anybody may know 5 or 6 more people, and they can build our customer base and can expand out. very, very nicely. So it's really about growing our business and deciding what our income level is, what we want as far as income is concerned. There's no stopping.
Should we give everybody a little teaser? I mean, they want to be on tomorrow night's call with the corporate update, but there's going to be an incentive rolled out there as well. And you want to be part of tomorrow night's call. So East Coast time, it's going to be 8 p.m. and it'll be on Engage Global's normal number. But the other exciting thing that they're going to announce is on the 8th. That's like in 2 days. So on Tuesday of next week, to celebrate National Women's Day, those who enroll as a new affiliate and make that $30 investment in their opportunity to share are going to be rewarded with the $30 bottle of Brain Boost. And so it's like they signed up for zero as an affiliate.
There we go. So Tuesday's going to be some extra benefits on Tuesday. You just can't beat it. So target women on Tuesday. Get them all signed up for Tuesday.
But come Monday, come tomorrow and find out what you're going to be rewarded with as you enroll 2 individuals as new affiliates this month.
That's right. That's right. So everybody needs to take it.
I can hardly wait. I've got my list. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, let's see if there's we got time for maybe 1 or 2 questions before we have to wrap up. So does anyone have any question about the affiliate program that's not clear right now? Okay, if you are a woman and you're going to be signing up, I suggest you just go ahead and wait till Tuesday to sign up. I never tell anybody to delay, but if you are a woman and you're planning on signing up after this meeting today, just do it on Tuesday so you can get the free bottle of the Brain Boost. So that's good to know.
And you don't need to be a woman. It's just anybody who signs up that day in celebration of National Women's Day is going to get that free bottle of Brain Boost.
Can't beat it. Can't beat it.
You guys just got to have these on your desk. I mean, it's just love it. Love it.
Perfect. I love it. So next week, folks, listen, what we're going to do is I'm trying to get Dr. Prasad on for next week. We're going to be talking about cancer. And then Dave Namelka is agreeing also to come back to our meeting. So I'm not sure if it's going to be next weekend or the weekend after that, but we'll get him on too so we can get a chance to interview the CEO of the company again and just pick his brain on that. But we're going to start going through some of the mechanics of network marketing in the coming weeks so we can build some of the skills necessary to help us be effective in getting the word out to more people. Okay? And thank you very much.
Absolutely. And I want to just say we're going to be using this platform a lot. And so I'd encourage those of you that are just participating in Zoom through the internet, take the steps to get it downloaded onto your computer so that it's running on your computer and it doesn't need the bandwidth to get out. And we're going to be doing a lot more connecting with individuals because it's so effective. You saw today as I was sharing some of those videos. Imagine as we get more of a library of testimonials, how effective we're going to be if we can just get these people on. So let's, that's really what we're taking advantage of right now with high gas prices and people not wanting to go out and make that investment in travel. We can connect with individuals in this format that Jonathan has done a tremendous job of putting together for every Sunday. But let's look at other times throughout the week where we can also be there to support you and the growth of your Engage Global family.
That's it. And Jeff is making himself available. So when you folks can't reach me, Dolores will tell you in a heartbeat. When you can't reach me, you can always reach Jeff. So he makes himself available. So keep that in mind. I'm not going to flash his number on the screen, but if you got access to it, he'll give it to you. So they're two of the best upline that we could possibly have. Great support. Okay. Thank you again, Jeff. So let's be there tomorrow night. We'll see everybody on the corporate call tomorrow night, all right?
Sounds good.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye-bye. Have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
Thank you, John.
Thank you. Thank you, Jeff, Jonathan.
Yep.
Good night.
Jeff and Jonathan and
Good night,
everyone.
JJ.
Take care.
Thank
Nice
you.
meeting all the new people. All righty.
Very
Good
good.
night, everybody.
See you guys.
Good night.